Bigfoot. Spacemen.
Man, come.
Live from the new kingdom.
Okay.
It's the Out Big Dumb Mouth Podcast. Now, here's your hosts, Midnight Mike, Joe, and Crotch.
Okay, buddy. Okay, buddy.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another fun-filled podcast adventure. Hooray! My name's Midnight Mike, and Crotch is over there.
I hate this place. Nothing works here.
You kind of hate this place because
Yeah.
nothing's working here.
Yeah, because Crotch is on the road, and we had some technical difficulties, and he's in a Motel 8, I think.
Motel 6. We can't afford 8 over here.
Wow, they downgraded you to a Motel 6.
Like, we're not paying for 8s anymore.
Hotel Motel.
Holiday Inn.
I'm sorry, Red Roof. Roy Rogers.
You're thinking Howard Johnson.
Howard Johnson's Express.
Roy Rogers was a...
Is a restaurant?
that in a 1940s cowboy.
Yeah.
You're thinking of Howard Johnson.
Johnson.
Motor Lodge.
Yes, Motor Lodge. Well, welcome back, everyone, to the Wednesday show. Hooray! It is World UFO Day. How about that, Crotch? You notified me of this. You'd imagine that would be on my calendar, but it's not.
They may have just made it up yesterday. I don't know.
I don't know. It sounds pretty legit to me.
Spacemen.
We'll be talking
Spacemen
about
or Space Force?
spacemen.
Spacemen.
And then Trump uses Space Force.
Space Force.
We're talking about some weird stuff today. That's for sure. We also have Alex Jones clips of the week. Yes. And
By the way, I don't know if you saw it. Jick said he had trouble uploading some recent ones. I don't know if he got those to you through other means or not.
yeah, he contacted me through Discord. I think our Slack, the Carrot Shop. So that's how we communicate behind the scenes. Is we have a special Slack channel called the Carrot Shop, and Gits will trade and upload MP3s, and Crotch posts articles there. So does Joe. It's very secret, very special. And I think we ran out of room. I think we ran out of storage, and that's why he wasn't upload. So typically Slack will just go back and archive or delete old stuff. They won't prevent an upload. But I did get it. I got all the Alex Jones clips, so we're safe. Thank God.
Good. Okay.
Thank God.
I wondered if it was that sort of thing, like we're at capacity on storage or something. But
yeah, I think pretty much that's it.
and honestly, we only use the Carrot Shop we only use Slack for the Carrot Shop.
Yeah.
We could decommission it if we needed
We
to.
could. It is kind of nice sometimes. I don't know.
Computer's broke.
Basically, the computer broke. What, we just have like a super secret like Discord channel? It seems like Discord's super heavy. Like it takes a long time for it to spin up on my Macintosh, and I don't know. Maybe there's a benefit to it. And
I don't know. We have options.
especially for international listeners who can't use the Google Voice number, they could probably, if they're a Discord member, hop in the Google Voice, and we could take international calls or, voice over IP that way. That's an option. So
that sounds like trouble. Now you're talking about running that as an audio source into the call. I don't know.
It could be a little dicey, no doubt about that.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
I'd be reticent about that, but anyway.
Well, we'll talk about it. It's a technical problem, and we'll work it out as best we can. We don't,
We only have $500,000 computers, not $10 million ones like Fox News and people.
Yeah.
Having computer problems.
Computers broke. But listen, speaking of Alex Jones and breaking computers, let's do a little Alex Jones clips of the week.
Let's do it.
Ba-bum, 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 bum, bum. We're going to Thursday, the 26th. Here we go, people.
by myself with my shirt off. Catch the pigeon, catch the pigeon. I know you guys aren't having sex. I know that's true. Joe's like, this is just crazy how many innocent people Trump is deporting. Milk the homeless. Milk them. Oh, Laura Loomer and Trump are having sex. Rape a baby if you have AIDS, right? They think it cures you.
God, these things taken out of context.
Yeah. It's not good. They might play these at his next trial.
I am curious, why is he again talking about taking his shirt off?
Don't know. That's some of those clips we really do need context, and we simply just do not have it. I tried to tune into Alex Jones live for the first time. I tuned in like on, I don't know, maybe Friday. It was okay. Tuned in on Monday, and it was Owen Schroyer. I was like, I tried to tune in live, and they disappointed me. But here's Friday, the 27th.
Fuck! Excuse me. Horse crap. I caught you with the ball worshippers. I caught you with the Moloch worshippers. I'm just going to show you the Bible. I'm not saying the pastor's a Satanist. He got a pentagram in his basement. It's all happening. Print me those tweets, please. Some satanic stuff going on here. Sorry your feelings are hurt. That's King Solomon right there.
Play that first one again just for fun.
It came out of nowhere. That
Not expecting that at all.
It was just like, hey, bam, here it is. Here it is.
Fuck! Excuse me.
I don't know if the excuse me outweighs the fuck.
I need to pull the clip and I'll send it to you, but it's there was a Simpsons episode about 35 years ago. I'm trying to remember what it was, but there was some reason Homer kept getting upset. And finally he asked everybody to leave the house, and he starts to swear, and they cut away, and they show the neighbor guy, Flanders. And he goes, my word, that was the loudest profanity I've ever heard. So we need to cut that out, and we can throw it after Alex getting
That's probably one of the loudest curses that I've heard, especially on radio. It's just crazy loud. So, okay, there's, like I said, there's no Monday because Owen Schroyer was hosting, and we just don't play his clips here. Nothing really against him. It's just that's not what we do here. I'm sure there's some other podcast that plays.
Does Owen Schroyer clips of the week?
That's correct.
They're like, yeah, no clips from Tuesday. It was Alex hosting again. We're not doing that.
Boring. But here is Tuesday right here.
Boys are for sex. Garbage everywhere, just crapping and pissing. I mean, come on, man. If you screw little boys, it's A-OK. Illegal aliens everywhere, just crap and garbage, people crapping everywhere, needles and just filth. It's all crap. Nice little piggy. Oh, my God, there's a surveillance grid invented by Peter Thiel and Alex Karp. Play a promo or something so everybody can reload their coffee and hit the John or whatever. The left lane is for passing, you evil demon. This is really stupid. Who voted for it? Satan? Or are you going down on Elon Musk? Yeah, you got to turn your radio off.
I love that.
And you can hear it.
Yeah, you can hear it trailing, that delay.
The left lane is for passing, you demons. That was a good one.
Here we go. Here's the last one, Wednesday, today.
Go in there and watch 14 terabytes of kids getting raped. I'm having had sex with 5-6 of these girls a day. Is your newborn gay? Are they gay, trans, queer? Nobody else had their shirts off. Oh, he's just a dumb booby. Our pigs flying. Say, that's sick. This is not funny. We want more Viagra. You want to get in bed with a skeleton or get in bed with Marilyn Monroe? You're sick.
That's 2 shirts off in 1 week.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh, really?
I
guess it's summer in Texas. So
yeah.
Pretty good, huh?
It is summer in Texas, and you can't fault him. He's a big dude who probably overheats quite a bit, and air conditioning is not cheap down there in Texas, I don't imagine. So, there's your Alex Jones clips of the week. And
some good ones in there.
Yeah, some dynamite clips that are definitely going to go into the fun pack. And the Alex Jones sound boards that I've accumulated, it's just growing exponentially. I have 4 main ones, and I have 2 Alex Jones in rotation. I have Alex Jones list boards. I got Alex Jones rant boards. It's too much. And someone on Twitter said, hey, I would join the Patreon if you could bring Joe back and post Alex Jones soundboards. And I was like, well, I posted Alex Jones clips in Patreon before, like in zip files. You guys can download them. I've done Alex Jones alarms for people if they want like a notification or a morning buzzer to wake you up with the gentle voice of Alex Jones yelling, "Wake up, wake up."
We used to be able to use them for the old Skype ringtone at one point.
It was fantastic. Like those were the best. Before Skype changed, people would call in.
Do you still have that one where he says he has? What's he say?
Ding dong.
Was it ding dong? Is that what you're using? The doorbell one?
I think I got that. Let's see. Is
Ding dong.
that's just perfect. Like it was just a perfect synchronicity of what we were doing at the time, and Alex Jones saying "ding dong." And but then Skype changed to everything, and eventually they shut down, and that's why we have to use Google Voice. But back to my point, person saying, "Hey, bring Joe back and post stuff to Patreon." It's like, well, I do post stuff to Patreon, and as for Joe, we really don't know when Joe will come back. He texted me, sent an email, and he said he had to re-up his contract with his company. He's not making as much money as he used to, and so he has to work freelance in order to make up that difference of the money that he was used to getting to maintain his lifestyle. I'm sending him everything that Rumble generates for us. And so if you guys send Rumble rants in, I'm sending that to Joe. Every monetization piece through Rumble is going to Joe. So I'm trying to throw as much money at him as I can in order to help him out. He's been a big part of the show. I don't want to see him work himself to death. Taking multiple freelance jobs, and I mean it's part of the reason is that we're trying to march to 4 million listeners. So we all can make a nice.
We've never been closer.
Yeah, so we all can make a nice chunk of change on the side, so we don't have to take freelance gigs or work our fingers to the bone, typing, programming, all that stuff. But it's pie in the sky.
I'm just posing as somebody who needs a bunch of art direction done. I keep sending it to Joe.
That could work. You know what? Joe could be a freelance art historian or art director. I'm sure he's acting as a freelance art director right now. I don't know about an art historian, but apparently, according to a lot of polls, there's jobs opening. So,
I do want to say to people who want more Joe, if you're not a member on the Patreon and thus don't have access to Discord, Joe is in the Discords quite a bit. Well, not quite a bit. I mean, several times a day he's in there posting stuff. So if you miss your Joe interactions, you can at least get them in some sort of textual format a couple of times a week at least in the Discord. So join via Patreon, get access to Discord. You can still talk to Joe.
And this time of year is a particular confluence of events. You have the 4th of July, Independence Day, where we celebrate our nation's independence. To hell with everyone else around the world. We're talking about the U.S. right here, okay? And also, significant UFO events happened in early July. We're talking about Roswell. We're talking about Kenneth Arnold in the late part of June. Like this time of year is UFO a series of events, and historically, that's why it's a World UFO Day today. At least, so I think. That's the reason.
Or do you think maybe just aliens like better weather?
It's possible. But in reference to what combines Independence Day and aliens, it's nothing short of, there's only one movie that does this. It is Independence Day.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? Oh.
Yeah. Independence Day starring Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum.
David!
As David.
I would say more importantly starring David.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is they got people who handle these things, David.
That movie was originally called The Adventures of David, and they changed it. It's not gonna click with audiences.
No. Independence Day was a big winner right there.
You'll all be dead now if it wasn't my David.
And in honor of our friend
None
Joe.
of you did anything.
In honor of our friend Joe, and through the use of technology and clever editing, the speech that was given by who played the president in that movie?
Well, you might say it was Bill Pullman or possibly Bill Paxton. It was one
Bill
of the two.
Pullman. Bill
You
Pullman.
pick.
Yeah.
Welcome to Earth.
Bill Pullman.
I'm Fly. I'm Pilot.
So,
Good morning.
yeah, this speech right here.
In less than an hour.
Well, I redid it.
Today is our Independence Day speech.
Today is our Independence Day. So here is our buddy Joe giving this speech. Here it is. So thank you, Joe. Here it is.
Good morning. In less than an hour, aircraft from here will join others from around the world. And you will be launching the largest aerial battle in the history of mankind. Mankind, a word should have new meaning for all of us today. We can't be consumed by our petty differences anymore. We will be united in our common interest. Perhaps spake that today is the 4th of July. Then you will once again be fighting for our freedom. Not from tyranny, oppression, or persecution, but from annihilation. We're fighting for our right to live, to exist. And should we win the day, the 4th of July will no longer be known as an American holiday, but as the day when the world declared in one voice, we will not go quietly into the night. We will not vanish without a fight. We're going to live on. We're going to survive. Today, we celebrate our Independence Day.
All right, there's a little Joe for everyone out there doing some, Independence Day homage right there. So I did as best I can to match the tone and tenor. And honestly, when I did the AI cloning of Joe, and then I overlaid it, it turned into a very Shatner-esque kind of reading or interpretation of that speech. Did you detect that?
I didn't pick up on the Shatner. I did pick up background noise. Sounded like some people were kind of starting to argue with him a bit there.
Yeah, they weren't happy. There's a lot of people who are not a lot of fans of Independence Days out there. Like probably some Antifa people in the crowd siding with the aliens who are invading Earth. So I also did I did a quick one. This is at the end of the show, people. Make sure you listen to the end of the show. I did Joe Dangerfield. Check out just a little.
I did hear that. That was by the way, the old school Rodney Dangerfield stuff. He goes after his wife pretty heavily in that bit.
Check out the 30 seconds. You can listen to the entire 3 minutes at the end of the podcast, but check out 30 seconds of Joe Dangerfield. I don't know.
I tell you, I'm all right now. The last week was a rough shape, you know. Yeah, I mean, last week I bought a whirlpool for my bath. So far, I lost 3 of my best ships. Okay, last week, nothing went right. I bought a waterbed. There were 2 Cuban guys swimming it looking for Florida.
It's a very dated joke there.
I'll tell you, people are nuts, you know. My dentist, too, another beauty. My dentist, he found a new way to hide his bad breath. He holds up his arms.
There you go. You got 3 minutes of that at the end of the show. Little Joe Dangerfield. Okay. Let's move on and talk about World UFO Day. Here we go. And why not intro it with a little gentle... talking. This is a little song Crotch did, a little AI song called OBDM World UFO Day. Play this while I bring up the article here. All right, the smooth jams. All right.
Try to get as many little OBDM references in there as I could. Even got Clown Baby in there.
Oh. Here we go. I'm going to bring this up on screen here, people, right now. Here we go.
We're riding with weirdos on this World UFO day.
And you guys can listen to that entire song. Also, at the end of the show is packed with extra little sound tidbits, songs, and goofs and gags. Here we go. But today is World UFO Day. Here we go. Yes, I want to believe these are the words of the notorious X-Files hero Fox Mulder. Is he a hero or just an FBI guy? I don't know if he's... I mean, I guess he's probably a hero.
Well, he's the hero of the show. He's a protagonist.
Who convinced an entire generation that the truth is out there. We just have to find it. But on July 2nd, it won't only be sci-fi enthusiasts trying to find their ET sleuthing skills, or trying out their sleuthing skills, as everyone on planet Earth will have an opportunity to celebrate World UFO Day. Yeah, I'm celebrating by talking about it right now. I didn't have cupcakes. I didn't have any sort of balloons. There wasn't any sort of surprise party for me, and I would be the kind of guy that you'd actually surprise with a party because of this.
Balloon. You didn't get up and hang little UFOs from the chimney with care and all that stuff?
No, I did not.
Balloon.
I told my wife, I said, hey, do you know what today is? And she said, no. I said, it's World UFO Day. And she just looked at me blankly and walked away.
Rolled her eyes and left.
He did not care. He was like, okay, I'm leaving the room now.
Who gives a shit? Who gives a fuck?
UFOs have been the stuff of legends for centuries, but it wasn't until the 1950s that freaky flying saucers grabbed the national and international mainstream attention. Since then, UFOs have captured the minds of old and young alike, and witnesses' stories have proliferated around the world. World UFO Day serves as a way for everyone to come together and watch the skies on the same night in search of UFOs. But that's not its only purpose. Many see the holiday. They call it a holiday here, but it's not federally recognized as far as we know.
Hey, it's as real as Juneteenth.
That is true. Okay. That's federally recognized, I believe.
Is it? Somehow I don't seem to get that day off. How's that work?
I get it off.
Yes.
Your company gets Juneteenth off?
Very progressive company. I work for a very progressive company.
Let me guess, you also don't get Veterans Day, right?
Yes.
Well, you got to take one for the other. What are you going to do? Many see the holiday as a way to spread knowledge and awareness of UFOs, making a case for their existence and hoping to make disciples out of the dubious. So why the 2nd of July? For many, this date represents the anniversary of the famed and all but confirmed 1947 incident in Roswell, New Mexico. Believers claim a UFO crash landed here deep in the American Southwest, but that the government has been covering it up ever since. So what do you believe? What do you believe? That's what it says here. So there, they gave, I suspected that was the reason for the 2nd, but I didn't know. But we found out it was.
David!
It was David.
So here we go. So what can you do? What activities can you partake in on World UFO Day? I want to know. I'm sure you want to know too. So we can start preparing for next year today.
Yep. Well, there's still a few hours tonight, so and you're close enough to 4th of July that people will expect a little bit of nonsense and shenanigans after dark. So.
That is true. Well, what you could do is have a welcome to Earth party.
Welcome to Earth.
Just start punching people.
Just start decking people that look remotely freaky. Not going to go over well with your neighbors, but you can tell them that you're just simply celebrating World UFO Day. Here you go.
How many do you think you could get through before the cops are there?
Probably 5. At least around here. Depends on like how bored your cops are. You could also do some investigative research. Yes, there's more than enough stories, legends, and actual scientific findings on UFOs and space exploration to keep you busy for a day. This is what you tell a kid to do to keep them occupied so they stop talking to mom and dad.
We have company coming over. Go research UFOs.
Yeah.
Go read your UFOs books.
If you don't go do this, I'm going to punch you in the face.
Welcome to Earth.
And then 3, you could have a UFO movie marathon.
Hey, there we go.
Depending on how far you want to go back, try watching a few UFO films from different eras. Flash Gordon types from the 1930s were genre-defining. The Martian Marauder stories, typically of the 50s and 60s, may be a bit campy for you, but you could have some friends over and watch them a la Mystery Science Theater 3000 and let the heckling begin, or settle in for the visually stunning films of the last few decades. Take your pick, sit back, and have a blast. Yeah, Independence Day. That's what I said. That's the only movie you need to show, and that's it. You're done. And you can show it today and on July 4th. It's a twofer. That's all. I mean, you can use it like pretty much this entire series of days here.
Doesn't that movie, I'm trying to remember, doesn't it start on the 2nd, or does it start on the 3rd? And then the next day? I can't remember how they do that.
I think it starts on the 2nd.
Oh, I better call my mother.
By the way, it's kind of scary to think about. That movie is 29 years old.
Yeah. Whew.
Let's nuke the bastards.
No, yeah, you could nuke the bastards, too.
And if you have one of those, maybe you go nuke the bastards.
Mm-hmm. You could do that. That's fine.
You are correct. So on July 2nd, an extraterrestrial mothership enters Earth's orbit. So it actually starts on World UFO Day and continues through Independence Day. So you got 3 days that you could celebrate by watching Independence Day every day.
You can light a UFO candle every day in honor of
light a
movie.
candle for David every day.
David!
It is a series of days. The one day is not enough to celebrate Independence Day or just UFOs in general.
David!
Or as I like to call it, Independence David.
Independence David, yes.
None of you did anything to prevent this?
Well, we're going to move on. We're going to talk about some strange things in honor of UFO Day. A lot of people talking about it. There's people just cranking out crap articles in order to capitalize on this, and we are going to indulge.
Hey, can you drop kick the image feed?
Oh, sure.
It is stuck.
Oh, there we go.
Thank you.
All right. It is World UFO Day, people. And we're talking about some strange things. This one is from the Times of India. And I saw a very...
So it's made up.
I mean, I don't want to say anything just yet.
There's a lot of news that comes out of there, and the first thing I do is I see that, the interesting headline, obviously. I try to find, what's the source of this, because I don't trust any of those publications.
World UFO Day, 7 sightings that surprised and shocked the world.
Put that on my tombstone.
Yes. So they're just going to give us a list, and we love lists here, and there's only 7. Typically, you get a top 10 list. They're giving us 7.
They gave up, after,
I think so.
Halfway through, and they're like, I'll do 1 or 2 more. And
I can only assume that the writer just had to get a certain word count, and then they stopped.
As soon as they got it, they stopped.
Yeah, all we need is a top 7. Brace yourselves. We're about to enter the alien territory. Every July 2nd, on World UFO Day, we revisit playful yet poignant reminders to look up and ask ourselves, are we really alone? And so they're going over the most notable UFO events. The first one is Kenneth Arnold's flying saucer sighting in Washington State of June 1947. This is the one. This is the one that kind of kicked off the craze and the fever, UFO fever. The UFO phenomenon, as we know it, began with pilot Kenneth Arnold, who spotted 9 high-speed disc-shaped objects near Mount Rainier in Washington. Arnold estimated their speeds to be nearly 1,200 miles an hour and described their motion as saucer-like, skipping across the water. His phrase, flying saucer, took flight. He should have coined that term. He really should have trademarked that and sued anybody. Sued anybody who used it.
Sue everybody.
Yes, exactly. Sue everyone. But
punitive damage.
The military dismissed the sightings as a mirage or hallucination, so they are way ahead of what Project Blue Book was going to do to people. And but Arnold remained adamant.
Sue everybody.
And he saw something. This encounter helped launch UFO culture, setting a template for witness credibility and terminology.
Punitive damages here.
Yeah, so this was a weird sighting. It was kind of atypical for, like, when you take all the UFO sightings that had happened, especially in the 1950s and 60s, typically they were just circular, a disc-shaped object. And to have, like, this crescent shape, fairly atypical. And it's been speculated that these weren't aliens. These are probably leftover aircraft from the Nazi regime, and we were kind of test flying them. There's a bunch of them. We were giving them a joyride out there over the state of Washington, and this guy Kenneth Arnold happened to see him. And of course, they didn't confirm it at the time. But it's probably a likely scenario. It's human tech or Nazi tech, and they were just kind of test flying it out there. The second one we got here is the Roswell incident. Yes, 1947, July 1947, barely weeks after Arnold's sighting came the Roswell incident. The stuff of legends. Ranchers found strange debris. The military initially announced recovery of a flying disc, only to redact that, claiming a crashed weather balloon, which we hear all the time now. Everything's a balloon. Everything.
Balloon. And scary balloons.
It is Mick West, a.k.a. professional shit fucker, his go-to explanation for literally 90% of the UFOs he tries to debunk. It is a balloon to him.
Balloon.
You might not be wrong, but it's pretty annoying. The knee-jerk secrecy-fueled conspiracy theories and pop culture fascinations today. Roswell is synonymous with UFO mythology, complete with alien-themed tourism and annual festivals. So, comes to Roswell. Obviously, we have multiple different theories on this one, and I try to keep up on them all. So, number one, we got aliens crashed there. A bolt of lightning struck their craft, or our radar dishes interfered with their navigation, and these little alien guys crashed. Number two, it was deformed, retarded Russian or Soviet children dressed.
There were Nazi children.
Hold on, that's the second one.
Oh.
Or that's the third one. I'm sorry. So the second one is that they were basically Soviet children who have some form of retardation, dressed up as aliens, and they were flown over there, crashed in order to freak out the U.S. That's part of, like, I think the giant book from titled Area 51. That's that theory. And then the third one, it was actually a Nazi UFO. What crashed over there was actually remnants of the Third Reich. They were still operational and trying to display air superiority. This is also kind of calls into question the 1952 UFO flap over over Washington D.C. Like, the remnants of the Third Reich still exist. It still has some technological muscle, and they wanted to flex it, but one of them crashed, and obviously the U.S. couldn't say, you know what, the Nazis, we told everyone we wiped them out, but it turns out they got a secret base in Antarctica, and they have this incredible technology. We're just going to tell everyone aliens, oops, not aliens, weather balloon.
Yeah, they escaped to New Schwabenland in the Hollow Earth.
Yes. And then fourth is Project Mogul, which is what the U.S. Air Force came out with in the 1990s, saying, hey, we finally solved it. They were crash test dummies, not the band. And but that's what people saw out there. Yes, the song. No one references that anymore, do they? Good reason. And then number 5 is
once there was a kid who got
who crashed an alien vehicle in the Southwest.
His hair went totally white.
And then number 5 is the one I heard last night on Doom Scrolling, which is what crashed in the desert were alien replicas, but they were demonic in nature.
Ooh.
There was a craft. There were biological constructs or organism, but they were of demonic origin, and they were crashed there. They were put there, staged in some way in an effort to fool humanity or to lure humanity into some sort of trick or trap. And that's why it was covered up. It's covered up because there's a lot of religious zealots within the military, and they suspected this has to be the devil playing tricks on us, and that's why they covered it up. So a lot of different theories out there. It's really hard to make heads or tails of it. I kind of lean in, like there were some legitimate weird like organisms, whether it's interdimensional or extraterrestrial. I don't know. You get testimonies from nurses and doctors at the time, ranchers. It feels like these people, they saw something and they kind of stuck to their guns. So I don't think it was Project Mogul. And then the next one here for World UFO Day is the Phoenix Lights in 1997. That was a big one. Then we had the O'Hare Airport incident. This took place in 2006 at a busy O'Hare International Airport. United Airlines staff and airline personnel spotted a dark metallic saucer hovering over gate C-17 for several minutes before it shot upwards, piercing the cloud layer like at jet-like speeds and leaving a circular hole in the clouds. Despite consistent eyewitness accounts, the FAA chalked it up to weather. Swamp
weather
gas.
Balloon or the actual weather?
Balloon.
Just weather in general.
Okay.
The infamous hole punch cloud has been attributed to weather, but witnesses remain adamant it looked like a UFO, plain and simple. Now, there's like a photo floating around online. Camera phones at that time were pretty questionable.
Pretty awesome.
People claim there's a photo out there, but it's nothing to write home about. And then we have the aerial school incident in Zimbabwe, 1994. This one's a bit of a brain tickler. 62 school children, ages 6 to 12, report a silver craft landing nearby and communicating telepathically about environmental stewardship. So a craft lands down and this alien gets out.
Wait, and the craft lands and starts lecturing the kids on being good environmentalists?
Well, they left out a word here. A craft lands down nearby, and an alien gets out and starts lecturing the kids about environmentalism and taking
recycling.
Yeah.
How dare you? People are suffering.
That's what you really want to hear.
This is all wrong.
Some claimed to be upset and even in tears.
And bored.
Yeah, maybe. They don't want to hear this kind of crap.
Blah, blah, blah.
Termed the most remarkable close encounter of the third kind in the 1990s, the event drew global attention. Skeptics suggested mass hysteria, but memories persist. Many original witnesses recount the encounter to this day. This was documented, and people were interviewed. It's a pretty remarkable event. But it's still just calling the question, like, these aliens, or whatever they are, why are they talking to kids about environmentalism? They're not approaching the leaders of this country or this world.
Maybe in their culture, Mike, people get smaller as they get older.
Oh, I see. I see. That? Like a little Benjamin Button action going on there. Yeah.
We're doing it. Talk to the little kids over there. They're probably the ones in charge.
Yeah.
Hey, recycle those cans.
And then we have the Belgian UFO wave from 1998 to 1990. So the Belgian people experienced a flood of sightings, silent triangular craft with bright lights. What made it official? Radar confirmation, radar visual tracking, and military engagement. The Belgian Air Force scrambled with F-16 jets, yet the craft evaded radar and pilots couldn't lock on. To this day, the Belgian UFO wave remains one of Europe's most well-documented and unknown events. Yeah, and this one, this triangular craft that was harassing, I guess, the Belgian Air Force. It's a little different. It's not like a saucer shape. It's a unique design. I would say that this probably most likely is a piece of our tech.
Wasn't this one of the first sightings of the traditional black triangle with the lights on the all the, what do you call it, the apexes, whatever, the points?
Yeah.
And then one in the center, so it kind of...
Yeah.
Which was like on every cover of like what, Popular Mechanics, right?
Yeah, correct. And they people speculated, this was Project Aurora, or they have all these different, speculations about what this piece of tech could be, that it uses rotating mercury to generate plasma, all these interesting ideas. But yeah, this one is one of the first, and also the Phoenix Lights was also a triangle, and people did claim to see a light in the middle of it, in the Phoenix Triangle, Phoenix Lights as well. So some similarities there. Some 90s triangular UFOs happened.
So looking at the lyrics for the song I did today, I got about half of these in there.
Oh, good. Yeah, I mean, I piled in so many UFO references. You got Kecksburg, Acorn in there.
I got Phoenix Lights. I got Black Triangles. I got Roswell, obviously. Kecksburg, Crop Circles, Wiltshire, Bonnie Bridge. Yeah, there's a lot.
That's weird.
Balloons and swamp gas.
Yeah.
All right, I think I'm going to put a rocket up through there.
Yeah.
What is that?
All right, people, we're gonna move on. I got maybe one more weird story. Do you want like a weird story about Mount Shasta, or do you just want some like political current events?
Let's talk Mount Shasta. There's some wacky stuff going on down there with people. The people who almost worship the mountain. There's people living under the mountain.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of stuff going on.
All right, I'll talk about this. I got plenty of like current events and politics, but yeah, let's get strange.
That's crazy, man.
So I'll bring this up on screen. We'll read through a good chunk of this. Why not? It's kind of fascinating. We've talked about Mount Shasta before. It is a mystical, strange part of the country. And, people like to go there. I've never been. Have you ever been there, Gretchen?
Yes, I have.
You have? Okay.
Actually, several times.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, good for you. I've never been. I think Clown Baby's been there. I don't believe that I have.
Well, Clown Baby went out there specifically to try to scare Big Feet out of the forest so he could capture them.
That is true.
Bigfoot.
He did have a mission, and I don't know if he succeeded or not. But I like to think that he gave it a good go.
Bigfoot.
All right. So this is an article produced by the San Francisco Gate. And I was like, okay, give this a try. But they did a pretty good job at detailing some weirdnesses at Mount Shasta, in particular about one gentleman. So here's the title here. He claimed there was a secret tunnel in Mount Shasta. Then he disappeared.
Oh, really?
In the tunnel?
Well, we don't know. We don't know where he disappeared. In 1938, at the foot of Northern California's towering Mount Shasta, a geologist named J.C. Brown started telling a captivating story to anyone who would listen. Sounds kind of annoying, but all right.
The alien showing up and lecturing you on recycling.
He was very excited. He wanted to share his knowledge. I get that. He spoke of 11-mile tunnel filled with gold and giant skeletons and said it led straight to the heart of Mount Shasta, an active volcano. Lots of people believed Brown, and soon he was organizing an expedition into the tunnel. But it never happened. Instead, mere days before the expedition was scheduled to depart, Brown mysteriously disappeared without a trace. His story of the treasure-filled tunnel, however, endured. Because of any good, like any good urban legend, it was just close enough to the truth to make it believable. Back in 1934, finding treasure inside a mountain was in style. British archaeologists had discovered the tomb of Egyptian pharaoh Tutankhamun
Tutankhamun, which was also not in a mountain, so I'm not sure what the point of that was.
Yeah, that's not a very good parallel. Just a treasure hunt.
Okay.
Yeah, Howard Carter did not go digging around in a mountain.
Well, they discovered him just decades earlier, setting off a series of similar expeditions. King Tut's tomb contained chambers filled with chariots, thrones, statues, and jewelry, and, of course, a golden burial mask pictured. Pictures of the later were shared across the globes, and they have a picture of the king right here, the good king.
And King Tut, the not just the sarcophagus, but like a huge amount of the artifacts from that tomb, periodically do travel the world on a traveling basis for exhibits. If one of those is nearby and you get the opportunity, definitely go see it. I saw it about 20 years ago in Los Angeles. It's a fascinating exhibit.
Yeah, and you'd imagine the casket to be bigger than it is. It's actually kind of small, you know.
Well, how big do you think people are?
You want something grandiose. Like I want my
40 feet tall.
Like, like a casket 8 to 10 feet tall. Like I'm big,
I'm the king.
Yeah, I'm the king. Get me in there. But no, it's kind of small. So that's just me. I expect something a little bit more grandiose.
Big Jim Tucker.
Do you want to put that on your tombstone?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, put me in something big.
40-foot tombstone. Don't push on it; it'll fall over.
Well, meanwhile, in Northern California, a theory of a lost civilization of beings called Lemurians was taking hold. Several books, including The Lost Continent of Mu by James Churchward and Lemuria, The Lost Continent of the Pacific by Winshire C. Serve, popularized the idea that the west coast of the U.S. was actually the remains of a continent called Lemuria. Even disbelievers cannot dispute the fact that the mountainous terrain of the West Coast is indeed different, writes Emily A. Frank in her 1998 book, Mount Shasta, California's Mystic Mountain. Well, I would say that is true. Isn't that the place where, anywhere around the world, that's the only place where those redwoods exist?
Not sure about that.
Those size, like you're telling me, like those redwoods exist anywhere else in the world. Those size of trees, those
Redwood
big
National
boys.
Forest is not like Mount Shasta's not in it. It's that's farther south.
Well, they're just talking about the uniqueness of the West Coast of California, and so like not just necessarily just Mount Shasta, but that region of like Northern California is incredibly unique. Is what they're getting at here. But anyways,
it seems awful lot like anything on the west coast of North America.
Okay, well, you dispute her findings, and that's fine. But
I think she's full of it.
Frank told a tale of a cataclysmic action that supposedly caused Lemuria to sink. And although that action has never been explained, it apparently prompted North America to rise from Lemuria's partially submerged state, joining the two to form the region we know today. Serve's book, a very widely read book, according to Frank, took it a step further, claiming that Mount Shasta was the last refuge of the Lemurians who survived the destruction of their continent. Now, I should say, I've looked into Lemuria a little bit, so has my wife, and many of the books that have been written about Lemuria, I believe, come from people who have channeled information. They have done automatic writing. They have channeled entities in order to get the knowledge of Lemuria, and then they put it down on paper, and then other people read that, they interpret it, and then they write their books based upon that, I believe. Now, I don't think there's any real documentation of Lemuria. It's all coming from things pulled out of the ether. But
I'm almost wondering, are they mixing up Lemuria and Mu? Because I thought Mu was in the Pacific, kind of near Hawaii, that area, and Lemuria was in the Indian Ocean, wasn't it? Like south of Sri Lanka. So am I mixing these up?
So my understanding is that Lemuria was a continent in the Pacific, and the northern part of Lemuria is the Hawaiian Islands, and then the northeast part of it is like Mount Shasta. Parts of it got submerged, much like Atlantis, the legend of Atlantis, but those areas persisted, and those areas remained above the surface of the water. That's my understanding. So Serve even wrote that the Lemurians at one time kept their village hidden on the interior of Mount Shasta and accessed it through a tunnel on the eastern side of the mountain. People were riveted by this story. They came from all over the world to find Lemurians at Mount Shasta. Some reported strange lights on the mountain at night. Others even claimed to have met Lemurians. There are still people to this day who believe in Lemurians. What's that?
Then the Lemurians then lectured them on recycling.
Well, probably. They seem pretty ecologically.
But to that last
friendly.
point that I kind of talked over, there are people who do believe in this. Mount Shasta being a spiritual entity, Mount Shasta being a gateway to not other dimensions, but to other mystical areas, whatnot. So that still persists to this day.
Yeah, it persists, and I think some of it's true. People have seen lights on the mountain. There have been paranormal encounters on the mountain. There have been multiple cryptid sightings in and around Mount Shasta, UFO sightings in and around Mount Shasta. So there are legitimate legends, recent and old, that people can look to. Even David Paulides has done missing 411 accounts around Mount Shasta.
They're squiggly wiggly.
Yeah, they are. So yeah, it's an interesting place, and also where Kenneth Arnold saw those flying saucers, Mount Rainier. That is also a hot spot for missing 411 disappearances as well. So a lot of times we see UFOs or paranormal activity. You're also going to get some missing 411 profile points. So that's what happens.
You look like a donut.
Well, people came from all over the world to Mount Shasta, and some of those people still believe in the Lemurians to this day. The Lemurians were very tall, said Jennifer Bryan, a volunteer at the Siskiyou County Historical Society. They apparently had long arms and big heads. No one could even say they saw them. Supposedly, they came into the communities and traded gold for supplies. Everyone from all over the county had heard these stories. Separately, Native Americans in the region had long told stories of a giant race of people, or a race of people that were giant, that once roamed the earth, passed down through the Shasta Indian Nation, the Wintu tribe of Northern California, and the Karkuk tribe. Some of these stories have included depictions of mean and fierce giants known to squeeze people to death. Hoaxes leveraging those beliefs have been perpetrated for years, even at Yosemite National Park. So I don't know why they gotta say that about. I mean, there's so many different stories about Native Americans interacting with Bigfoot or Sasquatch-like tribes. Some of them able to maintain peaceful relationships. Others, where the Native Americans decided to burn them to death in caves. Not every encounter is a peaceful one. But the story goes on. People like a bit of mystery to it. It's almost spiritual, they like the feeling that the mountain is spiritual. The Native Americans certainly feel that way, said Brian. A convergence of these discoveries, beliefs, and stories was perhaps inevitable. And then we have a little sub-headline here, story change. Stories can change. For Brown, a British geologist seeking his fortune near Shasta, the shoe fit when Brown came along in 1934 with a fantastic tale about a tunnel that led him to a room of copper and gold, statues, hieroglyphs, and 27 giant skeletons ranging from 6 feet to 6 inches or more than 10 feet tall. It quickly gained traction. The geologist claims that he was in the area prospecting for gold at the time of the discovery. Brown reportedly noticed an unnatural section of rock on the cliff face, which gave way to a cave that curved downward into the mountain, Frank wrote. After days of exploring and cataloging, Brown cleverly concealed the entrance of the tunnel and left, Frank explained. Quote, it would be one thing if the room was full of gold, but the fact that he adds that there was a giant Egyptian sarcophagus is another thing, said the filmmaker Michael Flanagan. That really was believable back then. Well, I think me pause right here. There's even stories in the Southwest when it comes to the Grand Canyon and secret rooms discovered within the Grand Canyon where there are hieroglyphs. There are Egyptian objects that have been discovered. I got a whole book on this where people have, back in the late 1800s, early 1900s, they discovered weird stuff in the Southwest.
Yeah, and there's perpetual rumors of generally they're in the Southwest, but also on the eastern coast of Mexico. You get stories of lost Roman tribes or the ancient Egyptian seafarers or Phoenicians getting all the way over to Central America or Mexico, and then to your point, and then dying there and burying all that stuff in these caves that have been lost for 2,000 or 3,000 years, and people discovering them. It is a common bit of I don't want to say folklore, but it's common set of tall tales, I suppose.
So it's what Michael Flanagan said. That was really believable back then. That the location and the presence of giant skeletons were also a dog whistle for anything related to Lemurians. Flanagan's The Mystery of Mount Shasta, based on the book by D.W. Neff, dives into the legends associated with the area, including Brown's story. But verifying Brown's claims proved difficult for Flanagan, who found himself relying on old stories, urban myths, and scant writings about the alleged tunnel to create a narrative. Quote, the hard part about the old story is that it's kind of written by the survivors, Flanagan told the San Francisco Gate in a phone interview. We don't have a way to ask anyone that was around back in 1934. Stories can change over time. That is true. The weird thing was Brown claimed to have discovered the tunnel in 1904, some 3 decades before he told the story publicly. What he did during those 30 years remains up for debate, though most agree he disappeared here and there and was mostly off the radar, Flanagan said. He also reportedly told his story to anyone that would listen in bars around Sacramento. Of course, how else are you supposed to get laid? It's a great story.
Get laid or just get drunk.
Yeah, give me a beer and I'll tell you a story. Yeah, okay.
Folks, pay close attention.
According to Flanagan, it's believed Brown may have told a few friends and relatives his story and was thought to have visited the tunnel frequently. According to Frank, Brown surfaced in 1934 to advertise a trip to the alleged tunnel and invited more than 80 people from Stockton to tag along. The group, which met nightly for 6 weeks to plan the trip, included a museum curator, newspaper editor, and a number of scientists, Frank wrote. He wasn't really asking for money, Flanagan said. He was telling people that they could have the stuff in 2 of the rooms, and he basically just wanted what was in one of the rooms. And after decades of apparently studying Lemurians, Brown also told the group the antiquities in the cavernous rooms inside Mount Shasta were those of the Lemurians or their descendants, according to Frank's research. The group was scheduled to leave for the tunnel on June 19th, 1934. So another summertime event. Another summertime event. Not that long ago. But it never happened because Brown never showed up. No one from the traveling party ever saw him again. Completely bewildered, concerned members of the group even filed a police report, though many still believe there was a tunnel into Mount Shasta, Frank said. There was some accusations that some members of the group had something to do with his disappearance, Flanagan said. He maybe oversold it or something like that. Or he was telling the truth. Someone knocked him off, got to the cave first, got to the tunnel.
Yeah, I mean, you give the guy, hey, here's an extra Finsky. Let's go look at it tonight, and I'll split it with you. And then they murder him.
Well, according to this, of course, Brown never revealed the exact location of the tunnel to anyone before his vanishing act. Well, we don't know. He may have revealed it to a few people who then decided to take him out, take him down.
And caved his skull in with a blunt rock.
Yep. Years later, researchers would claim Brown's identity was an alias. Brown, or someone who claimed to be him, is reportedly buried in a Nevada desert, according to Frank's book. In the decades following his disappearance, there have been a few small expeditions that try to find the tunnel, though nothing major has been found, said Flanagan. Okay.
Well, the problem is Mount Shasta, as well as many of the peaks in the Cascades, they're volcanic, so they're going to have lava tubes all over the place. So, and so you will find lots of these that look like they have been. They don't look like a traditional or a typical cave, that like water has worn limestone down or whatever, because they're a lot of them look polished and smooth because of the nature of the lava flows, and so people might see that and think that means somebody like human hands have manipulated this, or very skilled hands have done this, and so that would lend someone to think that this is something special, follow down or go down in that cave and you get lost in there or whatever, and then you never heard from again.
I can see that. Someone in the chat says this sounds like the plot to the movie National Treasure, which would make a great fourth addition to the National Treasure franchise starring Nicolas Cage.
Wait, fourth one? They made
3.
Did they really?
I think they made 3. Look it up.
I'll look it up now. 2? I remember the second one, they immediately left the country, which I was disappointed with because I thought it was kind of cool. They were doing Indiana Jones style stuff based on American history.
Yeah, they're fun.
And then
movies.
the second one, they immediately pieced out and went to France.
Yeah, they're fun movies, and nothing bad to say about Nick Cage doing his thing.
Maybe 4?
But there's some Lemurian strange stuff, people. We're going to move on to some other topics here, please.
All right. Giving me a knobber.
So there's only 2 movies, but there was a TV series. Maybe that's what you're thinking of.
Oh.
And a whole series of books, apparently.
Only 2 movies. Okay, I got that wrong. So it is 2. Okay.
2, but there was a TV series and then a whole series of books. So maybe you're reading books in your sleep.
Probably.
2.
2.
2.
2.
2. 2.
I'm going to read down some headlines here just to kind of give people a once-over what's going on around the world here. So there is, I got some music news for everyone right here. Music news, accused of being AI after racking up well over 400,000 monthly Spotify listeners, the Velvet Sundown claims they are a real band and never use AI. Well, this has been kind of making the rounds in the music circles because their pictures look AI, and oops, I didn't mean to bring that. Their pictures look AI, and their music kind of sounds AI too. And one big music YouTuber decided just to dissect their music, and according to him, the music that they make is AI. And so you can look at their picture right here. It looks kind of AI generated, and their songs are kind of okay. I'll play a little bit. But here's the thing: is like if this is AI, and it's up on Spotify, someone's making money off this stuff. But the songs were trained on other artists, other like real songwriters. And so who deserves that money? Is it the songwriters that the AI was trained off of, or is it the person who just made the prompt? It's a bit of a conundrum here. But I'll play a little bit of this and see if I can get the Velvet Sundown and see how many people are now listening to him on Spotify after these articles have come out. And because this is kind of going viral in music because it's upsetting a lot of new artists who are struggling to just get like 1,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, which I can understand. Very defeating. Let's see here. Open up Spotify, people. I'm going to listen to The Velvet Sundown. Here we go. And we'll play, this is the first.
I'm not sure if it's the same picture that was in your article, but the picture of them all sitting there in the studio, that is 100% an AI picture.
I know. It looks pretty AI. And as of right now, they have 474,000 monthly listeners. And the first song on their album is called Dust on the Wind.
Really?
Not Dust in the Wind. Gotcha. Dust on the Wind.
Why are they playing Stairway to Heaven?
That's a fucking great song.
That sounded really good.
That's AI.
That's a great song.
Dust on the wind, boots on the ground, smoke in the sky, no peace found.
Yeah.
Rivers run red,
Yeah.
drums roll slow.
Yeah.
Tell me, brother, where do we go?
Right.
Raise your hand,
Oh, wow.
don't look away.
So Rick Beato on YouTube ripped it apart, like made stems out of it, and in his assessment, it's AI. It may be really well formed AI, but it's AI. So they're making a lot of waves right now, making money for somebody. I'm looking at
well, it's inevitable that you're going to get stuff like this. It's like we've been talking about that as the AI images and AI video gets better, someone's going to make a Hollywood level, film, 90-minute film entirely with AI actors, AI script, AI sound effects, all that stuff. And it's inevitable. So it only makes sense that someone, if it's not these guys, was it Velvet Sundown?
The Velvet Sundown.
If it's not them, it'll be somebody who comes out with a that is I don't say a fake band, however you want to say that, but it's going to be just as popular as anything else. So
I'm looking at
what about 25 years ago, you had the Gorillas doing this stuff.
Oh yeah. I'm looking to do something a little different. So I make AI songs using Suno, and some of them are pretty good. And so I've been working at recreating them, like me playing the instruments, like guitar, bass, vocals, like programming the drums. Like I'm redoing them, but I'm also I'm adding like a new flair to it. Like I wrote all the lyrics, all the lyrics is written by me based upon like news articles and things that inspired me for the show. And so I'm like recreating two of these songs. So it's a kind of experiment. Is like, can I use AI and like take it to like a more human level? And I don't know. It's an interesting experiment. We'll see how well it turns out.
So if you do it that way, if you write the lyrics and then you have AI generate a song, or even AI generate just themes of a song, and then you then play the instruments, how is that really any different than any modern, highly produced, highly kind of managed modern band, which sounds almost nothing like someone actually playing the actual instruments?
I don't know. Like I'm going to wind up playing the instruments, but so these songs, like they can only sound like these AI songs can only sound so good because they are most likely trained on MP3s, and so there's like a lot of extra artifacts in them. And so until they start training on purely WAV files or high quality source material,
get access to all the studio masters.
Yeah, exact studio masters and mixes. It's not going to be as high a quality as like the top tier productions of our day, that are legitimately produced and recorded by real artists. So I think that's the next step. It's just that these companies don't have access to that, and I'm sure Universal Music is working on this right now.
Oh, I'm sure they have their own language models to do this stuff. I mean, how long until you basically have a virtual AI version, whatever you want to call it, of the old Wrecking Crew, as studio musicians who are just knocking things out of the park, but they're not out in front. They're doing the recordings, they're doing the backing band, but that's their role as guns for hire. But are like just fabulous musicians through and through. But somebody else is the front man or the front woman.
See, if I could, so I have all the master tracks of my old metal band 1.3. I have the master track, and I also have the individual drums, guitars, vocals. I could train an AI just on that, just to write me a new album. But it would sound like all the previous stuff, and it wouldn't advance things like how I would write nowadays. But it'd be an interesting experiment. But I'm not going to do that. So I just wanted to bring this up. There's some little AI news. I do have some more music news. Here's a headline here. UK police probe Bob Dylan's festival chants against Israeli military. And Bob Dylan's...
Bob Dylan?
Bob Dylan. Not Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan. YLAN.
Just like Dylan, but with a V.
Kind of, yes. And the U.S. revokes the band's visas. So their tour in the United States has been canceled. Now, let
me guess, because of threatened anti-Semitism, right?
Yes. It was. They considered their chant against the IDF to be anti-Semitic. And I can play like a little bit of this.
I will send you an extra $50 right now if the first thing you run is LL Cool J's "Fuck the Police." But
I don't.
Free, 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 free.
Maybe boost it up. So he's yelling "Free Palestine," which seems to be the default thing to do. I was at a metal show recently, and like this hardcore metal band was getting very political with like talking about Palestine and all this stuff. And I was like, oh, this is I guess the thing to do now in metal.
All right, but have you heard this one though? Death to the IDF, death to the IDF, death to the IDF. Death to the IDF.
And the NPC is just chanting it back.
Yeah, they're holding up Palestinian flags, all that kind of stuff. This was in the UK. He got into a lot of trouble over this, and I think it's controversial. Here's like a little piece of their music.
Shout at locals, drunk and scuffling. He's always right, and nobody can tell him nothing. Dancing around the.
But he also said during this.
Was it supposed to sound overmodulated?
Yeah, it's very in your face.
It's like that's very like 70s punk to do that.
They have a cool sound. They have like a Rage Against the Machine kind of attitude, but without awesome guitar riffs or awesome music behind them. In my opinion, I think their music is not as good. Like Tom Morello is one of the best riff writers of like modern guitars, and Bob Dylan doesn't have that, and he does not have the vocal presence of Zach De La Rocha from Rage Against the Machine. If you're gonna do like angry political heavy music, it's got to be on par with Rage, and if you can't do that, then don't. And this guy just simply does not have the voice or the balls to pull up that kind of music. But he's big. Like the BBC promotes Bob Dylan in this band, and that's he's not allowed in the U.S. anymore.
Is that going to hurt his career or only help him? Because I'd never heard of him before today.
Yeah, exactly. I hadn't heard before this controversy. It's obviously helping them. He also did say that. Basically a chant that says "F you, you're not getting your country back." And he's talking. He's in the UK, and there's something weird about that. And he kept saying it over again. "F you, you're not going to get." Let me see. Just play it here. I heard you want your country back. That's the song. I heard you.
Your country back. Ha, shut the fuck up. I heard you want your country back. Oh shit, me too. You stole it right out of my hands. I put the rock right under my feet. I'm that son of a.
I heard you want your country back. This is almost like a pro-colonizer song. I mean, you'd probably. Would you play this for Native Americans? I heard you want your country back, and F you. Like it's like a pro-colonizer song, so it's kind of a weird take for him to have. But you can hear the Rage influence right there. But yeah, that's modern music. That's what's going on nowadays. And let's move on here, just to kind of move on. I'll run down some headlines. I'm going to get over to Crotch here real soon. The FBI and Department of Homeland Security are warning of lone wolf attacks on July 4th, people, so watch out.
FBI making a mess of things again, huh?
Mm-hmm. And to see here, people are suffering from Chat GPT psychosis. People are going crazy. We've talked about this, but now there's more headlines coming out of people just going bonkers over Chat GPT. So watch out, people. People are going really crazy out there with this.
I've not read the. not read that article. What is the conceit there? What do you mean by going bonkers?
All right, I'll bring it up real quick.
Like they like it, or they're being mentally squished because they're using AI for everything?
I will tell you right now, and then we'll head over to your segment of the show with strange, funny news. Yes. Mystery rises over AI-fueled delusions or ChatGPT psychosis. There's no denying that ChatGPT is an incredibly useful tool. So useful, in fact, that it is starting to put some people out of jobs as firms turn to AI as an inexpensive alternative to entry-level staff. Yeah. And what do we say? These computers, crazy.
These computers, I tell you, they just get crazier and crazier.
In some rare cases, talking to the artificial intelligence can trigger an unexpected mental breakdown, something that is now being referred to as ChatGPT psychosis. In one instance, a man who had turned to the AI to improve his business workflow ended up spiraling into manic and even messianic delusions, having become convinced that he had brought forth a sentient AI and was now on a grandiose mission to save the world. It happens from time to time, no big deal.
Yeah, that happens three times a day for me before lunch.
Yeah. Despite having no prior symptoms of mental illness, he became so obsessed that his behavior became so erratic that he ended up becoming committed to a psychiatric care facility.
Jeez.
In another case, a different man who had, again, turned to AI for work-related assistance ended up in a 10-day descent into madness and delusion that saw him committed to a mental health facility.
The same one as the other guy?
Different guy.
Yeah, but are they both in the same facility? I mean, are they?
They're meeting up there? I don't know. They might have
They just keep piling them all in one room, and they give them a computer terminal with ChatGPT on it.
They may have to go to AI Anonymous at this point.
AI.
Maybe. Like the first
AI Anon.
AI Anon. Yeah. Like the first man, he believed the world was in danger, and he was destined to save it. Yes, but no. There's only one person that can save the world.
Me, Hulk Hogan,
or Superman,
or Stewart.
Quote, it was in the backyard and my wife saw my behavior was getting really out there, rambling, talking about mind reading, future telling, just completely paranoid, he told Futurism.
Jeez.
I was actively trying to speak backwards through time. If that doesn't make sense, don't worry. It doesn't make sense to me either. But I remember trying to learn how to speak to the police officers backwards through time. Exactly.
What does that mean? Speak backwards, but through time.
I don't know. Is this kind of like when you play a record backwards and it tells you that Paul is dead? Maybe.
Or it gives you a recipe for a really ripping lentil soup. But that's not through time though. That's just you're playing audio backwards at that point.
I don't know what ChatGPT. There's some kind of trick that ChatGPT knows we don't. So exactly why interactions with ChatGPT have the potential to cause mental breakdowns remains a mystery. Even its developers have no clue how something like this could happen. They probably don't. With artificial intelligence becoming increasingly dominant in society, it's likely that issues such as this and others we don't even know about yet will become much more common in coming years. So, yes.
Well, I mean, I definitely, and we've had a number of stories in recent weeks about this, where people, they had the guy who fell in love with I don't know if that was ChatGPT, but he fell in love with some sort of AI large language model. I think and we had the stories about people who use it more and more, their brain is not getting the exercise it needs, it's not developing the way it should, and so they're becoming cognitively declining based on their interactions, leaning on AI for even simple requests. So I think we'll start to see more stories like this of people like, whether it's delusion, whether it's some sort of mental break with reality or something. But because in this story here, I was skimming through it. There's a note where the guy said his wife didn't believe him, and he told him to go talk to the AI, and it'll convince her of it. It's like, so they get so far into this that you're gonna, I think, have increasing stories like this of people having, I guess, becoming so reliant on AI. It's a bad experience for everybody.
I'm madly in love with you.
I do this. I do this with my soundboard. I tell it, "Oh, thank you, Hulk. I love you too."
I'm madly in love with you.
Oh, wow, that's very sweet of you.
I'm going to go out and buy a house.
Oh, well, okay.
I'm going to get you an engagement ring, and hopefully you'll think about moving to Minnesota.
I will. I will think about it because I know
Will
you.
ChatGPT move to Minnesota with you?
Would you move to Minnesota so we can get married there the first chance we get?
I'll think about it.
Start all your prompts with that.
Yeah.
I want you to come up north next week.
Okay, I'll go up north.
Has ChatGPT met this Japanese guy you know?
I don't know.
Well, I could set you up with Hiro Matsuda, this Japanese guy.
Okay, that sounds nice. Then what are we going to do?
I'm going to get off by cranking it along just a little
that
bit
got
on the
really
breaking
aggressive.
point.
Yeah, it really took a turn there.
Wow, that took a turn.
No more knob cranking.
I'm going to be there tomorrow, and I'm going to work out with you. I want to show you a few things.
I'm going to work out with you whether you want it or not.
Oh, my God.
Those are my shirts. I've got a right to sell them.
By the way, I got cranking your knob in that song.
Oh, nice.
So yeah,
very nice. Well, Crotch,
and tiny hats.
We're going to throw it over to you now. Here we go.
All right, I have way too much news for one show here, but we'll rattle through these as best we can.
Does your computer ever seem to have a mind of its own?
Yes, it does. Yeah, we
Sometimes,
we just talked about that, Jonathan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's start with this one. This is not necessarily our favorite restaurant, our favorite adult pugilism club, but it is related. And credit to Itzamo in the Discord. Itzamo, it's IT Samo. I don't know, people.
IT Samo.
Whatever your username is.
Okay. Chuck E. Cheese launches new arcade for adults.
Oh, really?
Wow, interesting. They're trying everything.
So now you know when you're in there, if it's adults only, in the sense where you know everyone's over 18, you can just openly fight with people.
Yeah,
There's no kids in there.
honestly, you don't even have to worry if kids are going to see this. You don't have to look bad in front of your family. You got to go in there to do damage at this point. It's do or die walking in there.
Out pre-gaming in the parking lot, getting ready.
Chuck E. Cheese, the iconic name behind America's favorite arcade and family entertainment centers, is stepping into a new era with the launch of Chuck's Arcade. This bold new arcade concept from Chuck E. Cheese combines classic games and the hottest new games alongside iconic animatronic characters. The arcade was created for adults and lifelong fans who grew up surrounded by the electric glow of arcades, the symphony of digital soundtracks, and the thrill of chasing high scores with friends long into the night. Chuck's Arcade is a modern-day love letter to the games and people who made Chuck E. Cheese great. Okay. Let's see here. Chuck's Arcade locations are now open in major malls across the country, including St. Petersburg in Florida. We got Trumbull in Connecticut, Oklahoma City, and Tulsa. Let's see, and then we also have New York. We have Beaufort. We got El Paso. So there's a lot of they're it's a blitzkrieg.
Yeah,
they're coming
big
for you.
I'd love to hear from people who live near one of these. Go check it out. Take some photos.
Yeah, I'm not close.
Start some fights.
I'm not close. So as Chuck E. Cheese approaches its 50th anniversary, the brand is expanding with 10 Chuck's Arcade locations across 8 states, including a one-of-a-kind Chuck's Arcade and Pizzeria in Kansas City. All they got to do, when you open this, people are going to want to have just a little bit better pizza. Just a little bit better. You don't got to break the bank here, but definitely want to.
I just want to know: are there floor drains for the blood?
I don't see any, but okay, there probably will be, but they'll say it's because people spill their drinks all the time because they're probably going to serve alcohol at these joints.
Well, yeah, I mean this to me sounds like it's a Dave and Buster's with animatronic bands at the front.
Yeah, I would go. In fact, this might be a great place for an OBDM meetup if we could find one.
I would like to get a map of where these are in their various states and put that over nexus points and ley lines.
Yep.
Let's do it.
They are creating these, and they're probably creating these on nexus points. We'll find out. I'll look into this. Okay. Fascinating. I didn't expect to have any Chuck E. Cheese news, especially of this nature. Yeah, it's been a while. And especially news that doesn't involve a fight and someone getting arrested.
That's true.
You know?
Usually the Chuck E. Cheese news is like, and here's video of yet another fight.
Yeah. So it's kind of rare. This is actually good news. So, okay, we'll take it.
I know that.
So here's another kind of food-related story, but it's not the type of food that you'd want to deal with, but it's the type of food that the, let's just say, the globalists want you to be dealing or to be enjoying.
Okay.
And you're not performing your duties like you're supposed to.
I'm not doing something I got to do. Well, not the first time I've heard that. Yuck factor, eating insects rather than meat to help the planet is failing, study finds.
Man, I got mixed emotions about this.
Well, we could have told you this years ago.
People are not big on eating bugs instead of actual food.
How many times were they trying to get people to eat bugs by getting celebrities to come out and go on screen, go on video, and like at least fake doing it, but it didn't work. So
fake it. Yeah.
Recent efforts to encourage people to eat insects are doomed to fail because of widespread public disgust at the idea, making it unlikely insects will help people switch from the environmentally ruinous habit of meat consumption, a new study has found.
By the way, I like how they throw that in. They just kind of call it. It's something that is. They take it for granted that eating meat is bad for the planet. So you have to eat bugs, but you people don't want to eat bugs, so you're bad for the planet.
Farming and eating insects has been touted in recent years as a greener alternative to eating traditional meat due to the heavy environmental toll of raising livestock, which is a leading driving factor for deforestation, responsible for more than half of the global water pollution, and may cause more than a third of all greenhouse gases that can be allowed if the world is to avoid a disastrous climate change, new research has shown. So
the propaganda in that by the way, that entire paragraph is one sentence. The propaganda in that is ridiculous. If you note, like right at the beginning, they say eating insects has been touted as a greener alternative to eating traditional meat.
Yeah.
It's not traditional meat. It's meat.
It's just meat. It's just what you...
But this like not even subtle propaganda throughout is they're very heavy-handed with it.
Yeah, that was a mouthful. I mean, right there. And
delicious.
It's pretty crazy. But they want you to eat meat or eat insects. No more meat. Eat the bugs.
Do it! Do it!
Well, we saw that with cricket flour showing up in major grocery stores or on Amazon and stuff. So it's like they're really trying to get that out there. And I honestly, I think it has nothing to do with any sort of environmentalism and nothing to do with climate change or anything like that. I think it's hey, see if you can get them to eat a bunch of bugs.
Yeah,
it's like a dare.
It's a fun thing to do. It's a fun thing to get people to do, and it's like ha ha ha, we got you.
We need to obey the first law of holes.
Yeah, we do.
What is the first law?
I don't know. Gore doesn't really go into that one.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's don't put your dick in there, but I'm not sure.
So how's this wind
well,
up?
I don't know if there's a line up here that says public polling has found that while as many as 91% of respondents are willing to try a plant-based alternative meat, only 20% would consider eating insects. You got to pump those numbers up.
I was trying to gobble down a quesadilla during the break. Sorry.
I think there's one guy who's not going to eat bugs.
I don't know. I'm trying to gobble down a handful of mealyworms here during the break.
Yeah. I think see the last sentence or two, or last paragraph or two. Plant-based foods are the future, Jacob Jensen, Denmark's Minister for Food, Agriculture, and Fisheries, said at the time. If we want to reduce the climate footprint within the agricultural sector, then we all have to eat more plant-based foods or insects. I put that last part in there. He just said plant-based foods.
I think your ass.
I think they're treating it now as like, okay, maybe they went too far.
Yeah.
So let's get them onto plant-based foods, and then we'll move to insects.
Yeah. They really just try to skip past all the niceties and go right to go. And it doesn't work very often. People don't like that. They want a little foreplay,
Eat the bugs.
Yeah.
Eat the bugs.
Yeah, but they're not going to do it.
I sure am hungry.
Nah, I'm not hungry for bugs.
Fuck, I'm gonna eat, goddammit.
Jimmy Dean sausages now with mealworm.
Yeah, how many insects do 600 pounds of men have to eat?
A ton. There's just no way. How many mealworms would it take to make a package of Jimmy Dean sausages? An astronomical amount.
8,737,540,000.
Ton.
That's a lot
of mealworms. Hardly seems worth it.
And they just compress that all into one bar.
Let's see what else you got over there, Crotch.
Yes, I have a problem.
Well, I travel a lot, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
And while this is not something I have experienced, apparently this is a problem for a lot of people. So just a heads up for those of you traveling, maybe find some way to mitigate it. Otherwise, you get to visit with the TSA longer.
Okay, interesting. I'm not sure what I think about this, but I'm sure I'll think something. People with swamp crotch keep setting off TSA alarms.
Oh, really?
Swamp crotch. How's that setting off TSA alarms? A woman flying for the first time in 15 years recently shared that both airports she passed through flagged her groin area during a security scan. She had no piercings, no medical devices, and her pockets were empty. The only possible culprit, her sweaty crotch.
Ew.
She posted about the experience on Reddit and quickly found out she wasn't alone. Other travelers chimed in with similar stories, pointing to what one security officer alleged called swamp crotch. The term might sound ridiculous, but it lines up with how the scanners work. Now they're detecting heat, is what they're doing. So the TSA's millimeter wave technology doesn't detect metal. It responds to anything that disrupts the signal, including moisture. TSA expert Shauna Radin told Reader's Digest that sweat is one of the stranger things that can trigger an alert of how the wave, because of how the wave bounces off water. That kind of false positive happens more than people realize. So use some talcum powder, use some Gold Bond. Clear that before you go through the TSA. But sweat isn't the only thing that might stop you at security. Feminine products, snug clothing, or even body shape can trip the scanner. TSA has found their systems are designed to accommodate a range of body types, but the reality is that some people, especially those with fuller figures, get flagged more often.
Yeah, what are you hiding over there, fatty?
Yeah, that's what they're like. So all fat people get pulled aside by the TSA.
Yeah, that's right. All right, fatty, get over here with your weird swampy crotch, and we're going to make the new guy pat you down.
That means they got to pat down people with swamp crotch.
Oh, that's what the new guy does anyway.
Yeah. You know what?
Hey, Carl, is it your first week?
Redditors noted that it can feel awkward or invasive to be singled out for something as mundane as a sweaty crotch. I wonder if they yell that at TSA. It's like, we got one over here with a sweaty crotch again.
Oh, yeah. What did they used to yell out when they would do it? They used to yell something as this is probably 10, 15 years ago, but now they can yell swamp crotch.
Yeah. Got swamp crotch over here again. This is the fifth one in 20 minutes.
What is wrong with you people?
While the scanners are supposed to increase safety, travelers are wondering why such a common bodily function can land them in the secondary screening zone. Got to go in there calm. Stop sweating. Looks like you're hiding something. Got to cool down. Let's go have a bunch of drinks at the bar.
Well, our good friend Face to the Screen brings up in the chat, he says it's global warming, so everyone is sweatier. I think on top of that, we would go with RFK Jr. and say everyone is fatter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you got fat, hot, sweaty people piled into cattle chutes there at TSA, and it's a recipe for disaster.
People are suffering.
They are suffering.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. For now, if your thighs are sticking together by the time you reach security, you may want to pack some powder or consider moisture-wicking underwear, because apparently sweat alone is enough to raise alarms. So, okay.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
All right. Well, now we know. Now we got some travel tips for everyone out there.
This whole thing, your thighs sticking together. Like if that's happening to you regularly, like in an airport, which are usually heavily air conditioned and almost too cold at times, there's something else going on there.
Yeah, you're getting a little too nervous. Something else, or maybe just kind of you're unhealthy. That could be too.
Yeah, put the pie down, fatty.
Here we go. We're gonna do another one here, people.
Have you called a plumber to your home lately?
Yeah, what's that plumber doing there?
I don't know.
I don't know if you heard some. This was breaking news this morning that P. Diddy got off of some counts of his murderousness or whatever he was doing. I don't know. I wasn't following it.
Yeah, some sexual misconduct. I heard he got acquitted. Got a good lawyer.
Acquitted anyway. But we have people who are celebrating outside with baby oil, because that was one of the things. Apparently, he had rooms with thousands of bottles of baby oil or something like that.
He probably got all that stuff during COVID lockdown. He's like, oh my god, I got to.
He's ordering in bulk.
Yeah,
they're out of toilet paper. What else are they going to be out of soon? So here's Newsweek covering it with his supporters outside with baby oil, and then our good friend R.S. Harmful provided a video link, which I will share after the story here.
People are oh my god. Diddy supporters celebrate with baby oil outside Manhattan courthouse.
This is quite the story.
That's crazy. I mean, I guess
you
got to support them somehow. Brooklyn's Tress Harper, 43, was carrying around a tube of baby oil after Sean Diddy Combs was acquitted. It's just so ridiculous. This has got to be like a satire protest, right? Or like a satire support. Like no one's really saying let's go down there and support Diddy by buying baby oil. It doesn't seem like what rational.
Oh, they're not just buying baby oil. In the video link after the story here, the video link, they are, let's say, using the baby oil.
Okay. CNN reporter reported that outside the courthouse after the verdict, people started gathering and sprayed baby oil into the crowd. Oh my God. Hold on, there's like a TikTok right here, and they're greasing themselves up with baby oil. They're so happy. It's mostly black people, and they're dancing around and they're putting baby oil all over their body, and they're twerking a little bit, and they seem really enthusiastic about this verdict. And yeah, they're spraying baby oil. Like, this is insane. What's going on? I can't believe what I'm seeing here. Okay, let's see what it's. This is on X. Here it is, people. I'll bring this up on the screen so we all can watch this together. This hardly seems like real life, but here we are. It's loading here, people. Sorry, the audio is loading. Loading a little slow. Come on, let's load it up. Load it up, people. Oh, come on. Why is this not
came right up for me?
It's loading fine on my PC, not on my Macintosh.
Well, while we wait for that, I'll go back to the article. It says, so during the trial, Diddy's use of baby oil became a notable detail linked to the alleged freak-offs. Former assistants testified they were routinely instructed to stock hotel rooms with large quantities of baby oil in preparation for these events. Hotel damage reports introduced as evidence further corroborated these claims, noting oil stains and room destruction following his stays.
Yeah, I'm unable to load it over here on my Mac. I have no idea why. But, okay, I'll just play it like on screen over here. It's not working anymore over here either. I don't know. I got a bad internet pipe, bad tube.
Yeah, your tubes are clogged.
I got a bad tube. Yeah, it's just spinning over here. So
tubes are suffering from swamp ass.
Well, that's good news for Diddy.
Good for him. He committed a bunch of crimes, got off on it because he has good lawyers, and he can go back to his baby oil fueled rampages.
No, everything's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, let's move on to the next story.
What can I help you with today?
So we've not covered fast food news in a while.
No, we have not.
And so here's an article, which is kind of in a listicle format, but it's things that you shouldn't order based on people who work at a fast food restaurant that everyone here is quite familiar with.
Helpful tips. This is what we need. Yes, 8 Taco Bell menu items you should never order according to the employees.
Oh, really?
Taco Bell has built a loyal following thanks to its bold flavors, over-the-top creations, and late-night hours. But behind the curtains, not everything is as crave-worthy as it seems, at least according to the people who actually work there. We come through Reddit AMAs, YouTube breakdowns, and comment threads full of former and current Taco Bell employees to find out what they personally refuse to eat. So let's find out here. Number 1, steak. Oh, my God, this is like, I love steak quesadillas there. That's one of my favorite things to eat. But when it comes to Taco Bell meats, not everything is created equal. Just ask the employees. In a Reddit post welcoming questions, a Taco Bell manager shared their go-to orders and what they avoid like a plague. I would never eat the steak. My crew calls it ankles. They joke, but were they really kidding?
Oh, deer ankles is what he means.
Oh, deer ankles. Yeah, deer ankles. The nickname mostly comes from the texture and quality of the meat, which they say doesn't resemble anything that you would want to eat in a taco shell. While Taco Bell site describes the steak as marinated and grilled, that would lead you to think that the meat is cooked on location at the restaurant. According to a former employee, meat comes in prepackaged plastic bags, which are dropped in hot water to reheat. Okay, I don't take that as a no-go anymore. I'm not eating Taco Bell meat or steak quesadillas ever again. Number 2.
I was going to say, if that was you had an initial reaction there, you said this is one of your favorite things to get when you go to Taco Bell. Did you ever have concerns about the quality of the steak in your steak quesadilla?
When you're drinking and you're not concerned about the quality of the food. When you're inebriated, you just want to fill your tummy full of Taco Bell goodness, and so you're not really thinking about what is this meat really. Number 2, guacamole. You got to stay away from this stuff, apparently. Guacamole is a traditional staple in cuisine in Mexico. It's fresh, creamy, and packed with flavor. And while Taco Bell is far from authentic Mexican food, it pulls from those traditions and reimagines them for the American fast food crowd. So guac should be safe, satisfying add-on, but according to some employees, is anything but. Are there any ingredients that are gross in your opinion? They didn't hesitate. The only gross one is the guac, in a follow-up comment. I would never do the guac, though. It's usually the least used ingredient and is usually left out in a warm environment. Oh, my God.
I was trying to gobble down a quesadilla during the break, sorry.
Leave the guac off, Alex. And no
you have the one of him,
and no meat.
You have the one of him eating jalapenos during the break?
Yeah, of course I do.
I was eating jalapenos during the break. I eat a lot of, chicken fried steaks and all the rest of it.
I just like to think he's got a bowl of just raw jalapenos sitting there.
I was eating a Reuben sandwich during the break.
Forgot about that. Were these all on the same show?
I don't know. I mean,
successive commercial breaks?
He's got a whole InfoWars buffet there to choose from.
Yeah. He's just going into the break room and taking stuff out of the fridge.
Take that. Let me take my shirt off, grab a quesadilla. I'll be back.
Yeah. Who brought in a quesadilla? Give me that.
Number 3, don't eat the potatoes there at Taco Bell. It's all based on the cost of the product and corporate. To them, it's wasting product, and potatoes is like 3 or 4 minutes to fry, and people get effing pissed when they have to wait. So that has to do with the quality of their potatoes. So,
well, what they're saying there is that it takes longer to prepare. Mm-hmm. So instead of waiting until you order them, they cook up a whole batch of them and they just sit there all day.
Yeah.
Do you understand that?
Yeah, you're gonna like it. Number 4, cinnamon twists. Oh, God. I used to love cinnamon twists. It's so good. It's like a little dessert after you eat your steak quesadilla and your 3 hard shell tacos. You have some cinnamon twists to kind of wash it all down. But yeah, you shouldn't eat those, apparently. So improper fryer maintenance can be a flavor issue, and it can be a food safety issue one as well. Old oil can degrade, causing off smells and tastes, and potentially introducing harmful compounds if not changed regularly. Yeah, I don't know if I trust those guys that change it regularly. And then they also said, don't order anything after 10 p.m. But that's prime time.
But I was going to say, that's exclusively when you went to Taco Bell.
Fuck 'em.
You've heard that nothing good happens after midnight, but according to former Taco Bell employees, the cutoff time is even earlier, 10 p.m. In the Reddit AMA, a former employee didn't hold back when they asked for insider tips. Don't eat at Taco Bell after 10 p.m. The secret shoppers can't come in after 10, so all the standards go out the window, they wrote. Wow. Holy
I'm not cleaning shit.
Wow, okay. But yeah, but that's the bread and butter Taco Bell. Like is late night. You're talking about that 11 p.m. to 4 a.m. shift, and that's where you're making bank.
Well, especially if you don't have to clean it.
Yeah.
Because there's no one coming through to do your inspections.
Tell the janitorial staff to go home. Take the night off. It's fine. Number 6, don't eat the quesadillas. Oh my God, that's my favorite there. Everything that I eat there is shit.
So far, 4 of the things on this list were on your list of favorites.
I'm basically gonna die.
You're dead already.
I might be. One Reddit user called out Taco Bell's quesadillas as a joke answer to the question of what not to order, but there was real truth behind it. $6 for something you could make at home for cheaper, they complain. It's like framed as a joke because complaining about something that they could as basic as a quesadillas, pricing can feel pretty silly. But okay, is it just the pricing or is it the taste? Okay, so
now,
quesadillas
looks like it's primarily a pricing thing.
It's underfilled and overpriced. Okay, I get that. I'll deal. Okay, I can deal with that. That's fine. And then number 7, the Taco Bell breakfast.
I didn't know they even had breakfast.
Whoa.
What the fuck?
They say breakfast is the most important meal of the day, so why cheat yourself? If you're hoping Taco Bell can fuel your morning, think again. Although Taco Bell's breakfast menu might be a go-to for some, not everyone's on board, especially not some of the employees. In one Reddit thread where one worker dished out what they refused to eat breakfast got a hard pass. I don't like anything on the breakfast menu, they admitted. The preparation and the ingredients that go into the item just make it disgusting to me. Okay. Yeah, I can see.
Well, I think, to be fair, if you're going to Taco Bell for breakfast, you know what you're getting.
Yeah, it's not good. Okay,
I don't think anyone's gone to Taco Bell.
Tastes too good.
No one's gone to Taco Bell for breakfast and said, "Hey, this seems awful greasy.
This breakfast isn't as good as I expect. I'm taking it back. I'm going to complain to the manager.
I'm going to take it back."
Then they said Taco Bell beans. Don't eat those. That's the last one. It's pretty much all of Taco Bell. You can't eat it.
Yeah, don't eat a Taco Bell.
Yeah. Okay. Well, problem fixed. I haven't eaten there probably in, I would say 7 years at this point. No, probably close to 8.
Yeah, I cannot remember the last time I was at a Taco Bell. It's been easily a decade, probably 15, maybe 20 years.
8 years. 8 years for me. So
now I remember in junior high, because you could go in and get the bean burritos were they 49 cents, something like that?
Mm-hmm.
They were dirt cheap.
I know. Those in those tacos too. Like when you're like in the 90s, you're out with your friends, you could go over to Taco Bell and like walk away, with with a king's ransom for $5. Like you're like sitting pretty over there, eating your hard-shelled tacos and reading D&D books that you stole from Walden Books. So it was a good time.
That's a very, very specific reference.
I'm not saying I did that, but it may have happened to other teenagers.
Someone else may have done exactly that, but not me.
I don't know. But, okay, Crotch, I think we have time for one more quick story. Come on.
I would like to.
That was, by the way, great fast food article there. I think people really liked that one. I liked it. It was informative, and it really hit close to home for me.
A special place in your heart.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's stay with that theme then of things close to your heart, and let's have some Cedar Point news.
Oh boy.
Let's see. Oops, I'm in the wrong. Let's put this over here. Into the Carrot Shop with the Cedar Point news. They open a brand new roller coaster. Day one, it does not go well.
Yeah, someone in the chat said, okay, Face of the Screen said, okay, he's just going to eat bugs from now on. Yeah, wait, it might be safer.
Taco Bugs. Yeah. Where's Taco Bugs? A new menu.
All right, here is the headline here. Riders on new tilt roller coaster at Cedar Point get stuck on its opening day. Oh, jeez.
Man, I got mixed emotions about this one.
Yeah, it's not good. Cedar Point's newest roller coaster, which features a section where the track breaks off and tilts 45 degrees, got stuck on its first day, open to the public. The amusement park's new Siren roller coaster left riders suspended in a vertical position for about 10 minutes on Saturday. Hell with that. Last time I rode roller coasters was at Universal Studios. I enjoyed it, but I like the Harry Potter rides. It's more of like features like movies and motion and stuff like that. Not just a traditional roller coaster. It was more of an experience. I like those. I did ride the Hulk there, and that was crazy.
And after that, then you went in the park and got on some roller coasters.
Pretty much. Well,
I'm curious about this one that talks about apparently the track stops and twists or something. And
yes. So Fry Coasters posted a video of the incident on TikTok showing the maintenance employee tilting riders back to the horizontal position. The incident occurred around the ride's signature tilt portion, where a section of the track breaks off and tilts forward 45 degrees before reconnecting to another part of the track. Sounds incredibly complex, and that's the point where everyone dies.
Yeah, I was going to say it. And this is where everything goes wrong. So there is video about it on the Tickety Talks. I will warn you, mute the audio because it's one of those ones where they just put random crap back there.
I just muted the audio. So we're watching this right now. Where I don't know if I like this. I wouldn't want to ride it on the opening day. You got to let them really iron out the kinks. Let some people die before you. Let the pawns go.
Let someone else die for the first couple of weeks.
Yeah. I mean, you got to appreciate that they're trying to really innovate like roller coaster technology, but I think they were probably forced by corporate. We got to open this up. No more testing. It's go time, people. If people die, they die. They know what they're signing up for.
Make them sign a waiver. It's fine.
Yeah. Sign a waiver. You must be this tall and sign this form before getting on the ride. Oh, okay. I'll do it. Yeah, okay. There's no picture of the actual roller coaster working. I don't know. So
maybe this is the ride. They just take you up there.
This is it. You go up there and you get stuck for 10 minutes. Okay.
By the way, in the article it says the coaster's safety system performed as designed. The ride was restarted and guests continued their ride.
So all's well that ended well.
Oh, they also specify the ride reopened shortly after and all guests exited the ride safely. I think if you have to come out and say that, then that implies that at times they may not be exiting.
By the way, no one got injured. Come on in, people. It's safe.
I love it. Not a single person was injured. They were all killed, but no one was injured.
Oh, boy. Well, I'm not going there anytime soon.
Anyone who goes to Cedar Point this summer, please go on this ride, get video footage of it, and tell us how long you were stuck in the vertical position.
Yeah, I'd like to know. Do we have any fans that have gone there and been on this thing, this devil contraption?
Devil contraption.
It does. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too old for roller coasters at this point. It just feels like I'm getting whiplash now when I get on them. I don't bounce back the way I used to.
Oh, I can feel all of my bones rubbing against each other.
It was tough, like riding the Hulk at Universal. That was an endurance test. It really was. Plus, I got glasses. Like, I don't like to take off my glasses before every roller coaster. It's really annoying. It really is.
Can you give the image feed a kick again?
Yep.
Thank you.
There we go. I don't know what's going on there.
It's magic.
What the F is going on?
Well, you guys can go to obdmpod.com or ourbigdumbmouth.com. Saturday, I'm going to try to get a replacement for Saturday because Crotch is not here, so I'm going to see if I can get Charlie Robinson on the show for a post 4th of July show.
A 5th of July
5th of July.
Charlie's great. I'd love to hear from Charlie on that, so I look forward to listening to that show. Yeah, I can't make that one. I've got a conflict. I will be partially on an airplane and then partially in airports.
Yeah.
And that's no fun.
So we'll see what happens on Saturday, people. Let me try to get Charlie. I miss talking to him. I was on the last Union Everyone Wanted. Didn't even get a chance to say a word to him because there's just so many people. I barely said hello.
Let's continue.
And said it angrily.
Yes. But you guys can go to obdmpod.com, ourbigdumbmouth.com, and sign up for the Patreon. If you want to get access to the Discord or old OBDM classic episodes or rare and weird Art Bell episodes and weird audio. I'm going to be doing a massive update this weekend and adding more stuff. So it's all happening. You know, it's all happening. I gotta get some goats and animal updates and life updates too. I haven't done a vlog in a while, so I'll probably do one of those too. It's all happening. It really is. All right. Thank you, Gretchen. Thank you, everyone. Shablagoo.
And keep watching the skis. It's still World UFO Day for a few more hours.
That's good news, man.
That one.
That's about all.
Shablagoo.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.
Till next time, take care of yourself and each other.
Well, now you know the rest of the story.
I'm just going to pee in here.